Hello, I'm Jeffrey Kirk. I have more web design tips for you today. These can work wonders for your SEO to boost your online presence while also giving your site visitors a better user experience. This video is actually part 2 in the series. The first 4 tips were in my video from last week. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and start with that one. The link is in the description below. Also, I've got a surprise for you, which I mentioned in last week's video. I put together a checklist of 10 tips to help you update your website design to make it better for SEO. With each tip, I'm giving you 3 action steps you can take. You don't have to do everything. Just remember that each item you can check off will make your site a little better. That means each step offers an improvement to your online marketing efforts. It's a totally free download, which you can get at upatdawn.biz/10website. I'll remind you again later so you don't miss it. Okay, let's continue with the 10 essential web design tips I started going over last week. Here is tip number 5, improve your site's page speed. I started to get into this last time when talking about compressing images in tip number 4. Page speed is a critical factor in both user satisfaction and SEO rankings. Slow loading websites frustrate visitors and discourage them from staying or returning. If your website doesn't load quickly, you will lose traffic. To improve this, you must make your page load faster. Additionally, search engines like Google take page speed into account when determining rankings. To improve page speed, consider image optimization, minimizing HTTP requests, and leveraging browser caching. You should also refrain from uploading large image files to your website and learn how to correctly reduce image sizes. Properly compressing your image file sizes makes your site load faster while making sure the quality is still great. Faster site speeds allow searchers to view more pages on your site and increases their conversion rate. In short, speed equals revenue. A well-optimized website design ensures fast loading times, which can improve your SEO rankings because Google considers page speed as a ranking factor. Tip number 6, ensure you have secure and fast hosting. Google takes website security seriously. One of the big things they look at is HTTPS. Yeah, it's not just a fancy acronym, it's a ranking factor. So if your website doesn't have that magical S at the end of HTTP, you might be missing out. You have to make sure your site is secure by getting an SSL certificate. Installing an SSL certificate adds an extra layer of security to your website by encrypting data to make sure that any data transferred between the user and the site remains private. This feature is especially important for websites that ask for personal user information such as addresses, phone numbers, or payment info. Google wants to encourage web security in its platform, and that's why it considers whether sites use secure and encrypted connections as a factor in their ranking algorithms. A secure website not only ranks higher, but also builds trust with users, reducing bounce rates and improving conversions. Tip number 7, use SEO-friendly URLs. Web design extends to the structure of your website's URLs. Clean, descriptive URLs make it easier for users and search engines to understand the content of a page. Avoid using generic, auto-generated URLs. Instead, decide on keyword-rich, user-friendly URLs for better SEO results. And don't forget to use keywords that reflect the content of the page. For example, upatdawn.biz/is SEO dead because of AI is much better than upatdawn.biz/P=4450. A well-designed website has URLs that are so inviting they practically beg to be clicked on and shared. When your URLs are user-friendly, people are more likely to visit your pages, and search engines notice this too. It's like a double win for your SEO because it improves click-through rates and sends those all-important social signals. Tip number 8, implement schema markup. Now imagine search engines are like detectives trying to solve a case on your website. They're looking for clues to understand what's going on. That's where schema markup, also known as structured data, comes into play. It's like leaving breadcrumbs for these digital detectives to follow. Schema markup is essentially a secret code that speaks to search engines. It helps them understand the context of your content. You can think of this data as kind of like subtitles for a movie. It tells search engines what's happening in each scene of your website. But why is this important? Well, when search engines understand your content better, they can do something magical. Display rich snippets in the search results. You know those extra bits of information that pop up sometimes, like star ratings, event dates, or recipe ingredients? That's the work of schema markup. Those rich snippets grab attention and can lead to higher click-through rates and better user engagement. Tip number 9, use header tags. Header tags not only improve the readability of your content, but also help search engines understand the hierarchy and structure of your pages. So use H1 tags for main headings, and then H2, H3, etc. for subheadings. And don't forget to incorporate relevant keywords naturally within these tags to signal their importance. Tip number 10, social media integration. Integrate social media sharing buttons to your website to encourage users to share your content. Social signals such as likes, shares, and comments can indirectly impact SEO by increasing your site's visibility and driving more organic traffic. By including social sharing buttons in your web design, you're encouraging users to share your content. Doing this can strengthen your online presence and potentially increase backlinks and traffic. And I have a bonus tip for you. Regularly update and do maintenance on your website. Ongoing maintenance is essential, and regularly updating your content shows that your site is active and up to date, thus contributing to your credibility and trustworthiness. Regularly updating your website, fixing broken links, and monitoring for issues like duplicate content will help. Google rewards fresh and well-maintained websites with higher rankings. So there you have it. Those are tips 5 through 10 of the dynamic duo of website design and SEO. These are two sides of the same coin, and together they are your keys to online success. The problem is that many businesses neglect one side of the coin or the other, and that's like leaving half your potential untapped. In fact, I would argue that if you're missing one side of the coin, then you don't even have a coin. You need both. When you take the web design tips I've shared and put them into action, you're not just creating a website that looks great, but you're also turbocharging its SEO performance. That makes it a win-win-win. These tips benefit your audience, and at the same time, the search engines like your site more, so you get better search engine rankings, which builds your audience even more, and that means you and your business are the big winners. But remember, SEO is a marathon, not a sprint. It's an ongoing process to maintain your website's visibility in the search results. You've got to stay in the game, keep your eye on the trends, and adapt to algorithm changes. A user-centric approach to web design ultimately benefits both your audience and your search engine visibility, leading to your continued online success. Now, if you need help, the checklist I mentioned earlier includes all 10 tips and 3 action steps for each tip. Go through the list, do what you can, and check them off. The checklist is free, and you can get it at upatdawn.biz/10 website. Your business deserves to be seen online, and I will help you get there. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.